In today's video, I'll be installing a Retrax bed cover on the 3rd generation model of the Toyota Tundra. A link to this product is provided in the description below. The first step is to remove everything from the packaging. We are going to leave all the protective films on the cover until the installation is complete. And then we've got a bracket on either side. It's a shipping bracket that needs to be removed. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. The screw on the side here, we're just going to go ahead and remove this. And ultimately we're going to be discarding these screws and brackets. But we will want to save one of the brackets for a step later in the process. So go ahead and set that aside. And then these tubes on either side are also going to be removed. Next up, we're going to connect the side rails, and you'll want to orient them like so with the Retrax logo toward the cab end of the bed. And we've got the rail here on the outside. You'll see on the back side, it's got this channel here. That's where the cover is going to slide through. We've got 2 holes that are going to line up right here and right here. And then we're going to use these screws right here, Phillips head, through those 2 holes to connect it. When you're doing this side of the cover, you want to make sure that this is open and unlocked so that the rail can slide through. And then we're going to go ahead and just kind of pull this out about 6 to 8 inches and kind of pull up on it to line it up in the rail, and then get these 2 holes to line up. There you go. With those 2 lined up, we're just going to go ahead and take these 2 screws and screw them in. Next, we're going to install the front cover here, which has a hole cut out on either side. Those line up with these 2 holes on the side rails. We're just going to take this and slide it into place under those side rails so that those 2 holes line up. And then with the cover, we're supplied an Allen wrench and 2 screws like this that we're just going to screw into place. Next up, you're going to need a second set of hands to lift this cover into the bed of the truck. Now with the cover positioned on the truck, we're going to push it all the way forward to the cab. And then that mounting bracket that we saved from earlier in the video, we're going to take that and we're going to place it between the rail and the tailgate and get it to a line to where we have just that much distance in that gap there. It's 1/8 of an inch. And if you need to make any adjustments, just push or pull on the cover on either side to get it to line up appropriately. Next up, we're going to use our mounting hardware to secure the cover to the bed rail system. You can see I've got 3 of the mounts installed already. I'll show you how to do the 4th. First step is we're going to remove this little plastic piece here by pushing in and sliding that out. So to the side, then we've got this piece that we're going to slide into place. And we're going to position it between the 2 adjustment screws here. You've got these at the front and rear. Next, we've got this 9/16 bolt and a washer. We're going to slide on. And then this little bracket right here is going to install down like that. We'll go ahead and start by getting it hand tight. And then we'll tighten up with a wrench to 6.7 pound-feet of torque. All right, next up we need to check the alignment of the cover to make sure that we've got an equal distance between the 2 rails at the front that we do here in the rear. Now in order to do that, you're going to need a tape measure. And our first measurement is going to be from right here to right here. On my cover, that was 58 5/8 of an inch. Might vary a little bit on your truck. Next measurement is going to be taken right above these front brackets on either side. Again, from that same point, so measuring from here to here. Mine was just a little bit more than 58 5/8 of an inch. And then we're going to take our last measurement above these rear brackets, again at that same point. And on mine, there was quite a bit of a spread. So I had to make adjustments to get within a 1/16 inch tolerance. So we need to make sure that that distance is within 1/16 of an inch from the front to the rear. Now in order to do that, we've got these plastic screws that can be adjusted. The cover does come with a supplied Allen wrench for adjusting those. And for every rotation clockwise, you're going to get about 1/16 of an inch. Bringing them together, and counterclockwise, it's going to spread it apart. So in my case, I had to turn those clockwise to close the gap both here and at the rear. I've already made those adjustments and got all three measurements to that 58 and 5/8 of an inch. So you'll see my cover opens and closes just fine now. You are going to have trouble with the cover opening and closing if you aren't within that tolerance, because if they're spread too far apart, it's not going to want to slide when you get to a certain point. It's going to be really hard to try to pull on that. You could potentially break it. Likewise, if that gap is too small at the rear, it's going to be very challenging to try to force it. So you don't want to force it. You want to make those measurements line up as needed. The last thing that you'll want to check is also to make sure that between the front cover and the rolling cover, we've got a nice equal gap here. And you can see that in my instance, no adjustments are needed with that. We've got a nice equal gap there from side to side. This next step, if you're interested, is to install these drain tubes. There's two of them. And there's two holes on either end of the cover underneath that you just pop this up into. You should turn it clockwise, hear 2 clicks, and it should be secured on that end. The other end needs to be routed to either a drain hole in the bed of the truck, or you can drill a new one. I decided to skip this step because the tube is not long enough to reach the existing holes, and I don't really want to drill holes in my bed. So I decided to pass on this step. Most of what I'm putting in the truck anyway can get wet. It's skis, bikes, other athletic gear. Most of it's going to be wet anyway. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm mostly putting it on here to keep things in the bed secured. So if you want to do this step, good luck to you. If you enjoyed today's video, or if it was helpful to you, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for more videos of the all-new Tundra, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.